What's up, everybody? Welcome to my MMA cheat sheet video for UFC 240. Very disappointing card. It's a pay-per-view card, so not the strongest card. A couple fights I'm really looking forward to, but other than that, it's really a weak card. A fight just got canceled, so we're down to 11, just 11 fights. We had, I believe, 13 last week, so it's a very weak card, and but still the contests on DraftKings are bigger than usual, so. That means there's a lot more money to be made than usual, so I'm very excited about that. A few announcements to make. We did make our first MMA podcast. It's called the Uppercut DFS podcast, and we posted that a little bit ago. So check that out. It goes way into detail, fight by fight predictions, all that. Just a very good listen. It's on Chris's channel. Just check that out. And then I will be posting a video on my channel, a slideshow further going over my picks. And then also I'll probably be doing a predictions video, just a quick predictions video. One for the main card, one for the prelims on my channel, DFS. I'll put the link in the comments when it's all done. So before we start the video, if you guys can leave a like and also subscribe, that'd be awesome. And let's get started. Alright, I'm going to quickly go through these fights. If you want a more in-depth breakdown, I'll be posting a video on my channel. You can listen to the podcast. Went very in-depth with that on the podcast, so I'm just going to quickly go through this. Coke versus Stewart. I like Coke, 8,000. Stewart has the power advantage, but Coke has just about everything else. The more experience, the wrestling, all that. So I do like Coke to win, as long as he can avoid that knockout. I believe he's moving up a weight class, so I did see him. I looked up his Instagram. I saw him. He looks very good on Instagram. So we'll have to see him on the scales to make sure, but he looks very good. So hopefully that helps him. Hopefully he looks very good here. Stewart's just not that good in my opinion, so I do like Coke a lot at 8,000. And then Frota versus Robertson. This is a fight you're going to want to target on here. Going back and forth in this fight. It can go either way. Either Frota is going to knock out Robertson or Robertson's going to submit Frota. And Frota is a black belt, so that is giving me a little bit of pause if I was to pick Robertson. So if Frota can stop the takedowns and not go to the ground with Robertson, she can knock Robertson out here. But if Robertson takes her down, she can either win like a grinding decision or submit her here. But yeah, like I said, Frota's a black belt, and Frota's takedown defense isn't very good. We're going to see how Frota is on the scales because Frota did come in 8 pounds overweight her last fight, so it's going to be interesting to see her on the scales. But I'm back and forth on this one. Right now, I'm picking Frota, but it can really go either way. And then and you're going to want to have exposure to both of those people on DraftKings for sure because it's like -2 something to go to not go the distance. So it's going to be a very popular fight you're going to want to have in your lineups because the winner's scoring over 100. All right, Pinto versus Figueredo. I like Pinto. I think he's a better fighter. I think Figueredo has a nice puncher's chance, but that's about it. I think Pinto can use his wrestling, get takedowns. I like Pinto quite a bit. I think he pays off that 8,300 price tag. Figueredo could knock him out, but I'm not banking on it. I like Pinto at 8,300. Figueredo at 7,900 is not a bad play, but I like Pinto a little bit better. And then Sung Woo Choi and Gavin Tucker. I think Choi is going to be the favorite by fight time. He's like a -105 underdog right now. I think by fight time that's going to completely flip. I think he's going to be the favorite. He's just a better fighter, I think. He's the longer fighter. He's the bigger fighter. I think he has a nice reach advantage here. And Tucker is coming off like a 2-year layoff, something like that. He got dominated in his last fight. So yeah, I like Choi a lot. I like him to win. I like him as an underdog at 7,800. I think anything's really going to pay that off. Any win, I think you can easily score 80 points. And I do think there's knockout upside as well. And then Hakeem Dawodu versus Poirier. I'm picking Dawodu to win, but as a DraftKings perspective, I like Holloway as the better play here as a punt play. Dawodu, there's just a lot more people that I'd rather play in the 9,000s that would outscore Dawodu at 9,300. I'd rather go up 100 and play Holloway. I'd rather go down to 9,000 and play Jeff Neal. So if I was to play anything in this fight, I'd play the punt here at 6,900 because he does have knockout power, and I think he's going to try to knock out Dawodu all 3 rounds, so maybe he'll catch him at some point. And Dawodu did get knocked out his very first fight in the UFC, so you never know. Nice pump play there. Rosa versus Alexis Davis. Not really interested in this fight as a DraftKings perspective. I think Rosa is going to finish Davis, but I think it's going to be more so in the 3rd round. So I think she's probably going to score around the low 90s, around there, mid 90s, and I think the people around her are gonna score a little bit more. Like Jeff Neal and Holloway are gonna outscore. So in a card where you really can't play 3 people in the 9,000, I think you're gonna have to pick 2 and stick with it. And I already have my 2. It's Holloway and Jeff Neal, which I'll get to in a little bit. But Rosa, I'm probably not playing much of her at all. And then Mark Barriute and Yako. I'm picking Barriute to win. I'm picking Barriute to knock out Yako. Yako has proven to be chinny. He got knocked out like twice in a row, and then he took a little bit off, and then he came back and got a win. But I think Barriute's going to catch him. Barriute has so much power, and like I said, Yako is very chinny. So I do like Barriute to win, but Yako could very well get takedowns, get some ground and pound, squeak out a decision here. So Yako at 8,700 is interesting. I think he'll be kind of popular, though. I've been seeing a lot of people on him, so I'd rather lean towards Barriute. And if Barriute does get that knockout at 7,500, that's going to be great, because we're going to need some underdogs to do something this card. And then Sarukian versus Mercier. Sarukian, 8,800. I think he's going to win. I'm picking him to win. I betted him and everything, but I just don't think he's going to score that high on DraftKings. I think it's going to be a wrestling match. Both these guys want to wrestle. Both these guys don't want to strike. So, I mean, Sarukian probably won't mind striking, but both these guys for sure want to wrestle. Get takedowns. So I think takedown upside is there, but I think it's just going to be a wrestling match back and forth. Maybe some reversals, something like that. 8,800, I don't know if he's going to pay that off. I think he's probably going to score around maybe low 80s, somewhere around there, maybe mid 80s. But I just think I'd rather go up and pay for Jeff Neal, or maybe go down and get like a Jillian Robertson or something. Somewhere who's going to get like a finish with more finish upside. So I'm more so leaning towards fading this fight altogether and just not playing this fight. Jeff Neal versus Nico Price. Nico Price is always a good punt. He has crazy knockout power. And then Jeff Neal, I think, is going to knock out Nico Price. And I think he's going to get maybe a knockdown or 2 along the way. I think he's going to be the 2nd highest scorer. And I think he's even going to maybe outscore Cyborg. And you're getting 6,000 savings for Jeff Neal here. So, yeah, I like Jeff Neal a lot. He's my 2nd favorite play. I think you're going to want to have him in GPPs. I think he's a very sneaky cash play here. I think in cash, everybody's going to go to Chris Cyborg, which I think is going to be a little bit of a mistake because there isn't much value on this card. And you're going to want to have people that have score high, which Holloway, and then I think Jeff Neal is going to outscore Cyborg. And yeah, like I said, not much value here. So I like Neal a lot. I'm going to have a lot of them. I'm going to be very overweight on Jeff Neal here. And as for price, he's a decent pump play. I think he's going to be very high owned for an underdog, but not too high owned. But yeah, I'll have a little bit of him just to save my butt. But overall, I like Neal. I'll be way over the field on Neal. And then Chris Cyborg versus Felicia Spencer. We all know Cyborg's going to win. She's going to get a knockout in the 1st round. But if she gets a knockout, I think it's going to be right away. I think she's going to score lower than Jeff Neal and Holloway. And I think we're getting savings on Jeff Neal and Holloway. I think if she gets a knockout, it's going to be very soon. Once Spencer goes down, I think she's going to be done right there. If Nico Price gets knocked down, I think he's going to get back up. And I think Neal's going to knock him down again and rack up them knockdowns. So, yeah, I just think Neal and Holloway are better plays than Cyborg. Cyborg is so expensive. It's not often you see somebody with a 9,600 price tag on the optimal lineup. I mean, it's not impossible, but I don't see Cyborg putting up like 120, 130 in a 3-round fight compared to Holloway that can do that. So, and I did check. It's very, very tough to put Holloway and Cyborg into the same lineup. You'll have like 7,750 remaining, so you have to go down in the punt range, which I don't really like this week. So, more so playing very little Cyborg. I think she's going to be a little bit chalky. Maybe 25-30%, which is pretty chalky for somebody high in this range at 9,600. Seen a lot of people on her. I think she'll be chalky in cash. I'll gladly just take the pivot to Jeff Neal instead of 600, and so I don't have to play some punt scrub like somebody down in the 6,000, high 6,000s or the low 7,000s. And then Max Holloway versus Frankie Edgar. Interesting fight here because Edgar's going to want to try to wrestle, but Holloway has a very, very good takedown defense. I think Holloway is going to win. I think he's going to put on pace, and Holloway is the DraftKings GOAT. So he scored 90 points in a loss his last fight, and he scored like 190 points against Ortega. He landed like 290 significant strikes, which is absolutely unheard of. So I'm going to have Holloway. I'm tempted to lock Holloway, actually. I like him this much. I think he's by far the best play. I think 9,400, I'd pay 9,600 for him. I like Holloway a lot. And that's about it for the quick breakdowns. But core plays, Max Holloway, Jeff Neal, Pinto, and Choi. Those are just my favorite plays so far. And then GPP, you got Eric Koch, Yako, decent play. And then Robertson's a pretty decent play there with submission upside. And then Cyborg, she could possibly outscore Holloway or Neal. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it could happen. So she's a nice GPP player, but I won't be playing much of her. And then live dogs, Barry Ute could get that knockout. Yako's been proven to be chinny. And then Frota can also get a knockout here in a fight that's going to go not go to decision. I think she could maybe knock out Robertson here if she stops the takedown and keeps it standing. She's a way, way better striker, so I think she can get the knockout. And then fades, Dwadu, and then Rosa. I just like the other people around her better. And then my punts, Nico Price and Poirier, both puncher's chances. I'll be playing a little bit of them. Not too much, though. I don't. For lineup construction this week, I'm probably going to end up taking like 2 underdogs like Barry, Ute, and Frota, or Frota and Choi, just mix and match those 3. And then go to the low 8,000s and get like a Koch or like a Pantoja. And then I'm going to go up and get my Holloways or Neals or whatever. So that's how lineup construction is going to be for me. Seems pretty easy this week. It's a lot easier than the last couple of weeks. The last couple of weeks have been rough for lineup construction. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the winning lineup is. I can tell you now, I think the winning lineup is going to have Holloway and Jeff Neal in it. So, I don't think it's going to have Chris Cyborg. So, I'm very tempted to fade Chris Cyborg, but actually is a good play. I don't know. Maybe I'm stupid, but I think Holloway and Neal are better plays than Cyborg. But but that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. I'd really appreciate that, and make sure you subscribe to this account. I'll be posting a video on my account, a couple of videos, prediction video, quick picks, and then my usual slideshow. Just further going more into the fights and the fighters and why I like them and why I don't like them. So make sure you check that out on Thundernut DFS. I'll put the link in the comments. And that's about it. I'm very excited. I've been very hot this summer. And make sure you guys check out Patreon. $5 a month, you guys get my cheat sheet, my targets page, my cash lineup, my lineup percentages, my bets, and also Slack chat. So you can talk amongst the other guys in there. You can ask me questions, I answer right away. And the cash lineup cashed for the 9th time out of the past 10 times given out for 90%, which is absolutely unheard of. And I'm liking cash a lot this week. I already have my lineup pretty much. And make sure you get on that. It's $5. Get it now while it's $5 because it might go up. It's getting very popular. Might have to up the price. So now's the time to get it. $5 as of now. So it's $125 per card, which is absolutely insane. You can't find any other deal than that. So make sure you get on that. I'll put the link in the description. Any other questions, you can follow me on Twitter, nut_DFS. Ask me questions there. Guys on Patreon, Slack chat, ask me questions on there. Make sure you go check out that podcast. A very good podcast with a bunch of good information on that. It definitely is worth the listen. And that's about it. And thank you guys for watching.